Okay, so we have in this session, we have 4 speakers. Each speaker will get 15 minutes of time for presentation and 5 minutes for question answer. We'll try to maintain this timing. And without further delay, I'd like to call our first speaker. The first speaker is Dr. Tagwa Musa, and the presentation title is Integration of Engineering Societies for Sustainable Development Goals, Engineering Practice Approach. Dr. Tagwa Musa, are you ready?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my project. Just a minute. Can you see my screen now? Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see, madam. We can see.
Okay, thank you so much. So, hello, everyone. I'm Tagwa Musa. I'm from Sudan. I'm from Sudan University of Science and Technology. I'm going to talk about a specific case we implemented in my university, and I think it may just give some impact among the engineering students. My title is Integration of Engineering Societies for Sustainable Development Goals, Engineering Community Building Approach. I'm going to go through several points, including introduction and background, and I will be very quick in this, and the story of international integration of sustainable engineering societies, and the goal and objectives, and community building approach. And I'm talking to share some activities during 3 years, and we can see together if integration of sustainable engineering societies make any impact among the students, and there is conclusion and way forward. I will start with this slide. It's just the geographical area of the case. It is in Sudan. I know maybe most of you or all of you familiar with Sudan. You know where is Sudan, but just as a reminder, Sudan is a country in Africa. Is located in the east of Africa. Sometimes some agencies describe it as in North Africa, and others describe it as in Middle Africa, which means Sudan has a strategic location in Africa. And I don't know also if you know anything about Sudan, but Sudan is famous with the River Nile, which is the tallest river around the world. And we have so many other very important resources, including agriculture, and we have livestock wells. The land of Sudan, 57% are suitable for agriculture, according to UN World Food Program. And also Sudan is known for oil production, and the reserve is more than 5 billion barrels, and there are so many minerals. And recently, maybe most of you hear about Sudan Revolution, which started in 2018, at the end of 2018, and just ended a government for more than 30 years. So the case study was in Sudan University of Science and Technology, which is a public university located in Khartoum, and it has more than 25 colleges, 11 centers, and 6 deanships distributed amongst 10 campuses. Just Sudan University of Science and Technology distributed among 10 campuses, and there are more than 200 academic programs actually for undergraduate and postgraduates, and student population are in undergraduate and postgraduates are 72K according to 2018 statistics. Among these 25 colleges, there are 5 colleges for engineering, and here is the main problem really, because these 5 engineering colleges has 29 programs, but distributed in 5 colleges among 3 campuses, and the campuses is a little bit far from each other. So we have College of Water and Environmental Engineering, where there are 2 departments about water and environment, and there is Petroleum and Mining Engineering, and I belong to this college, where there are 4 departments. And we have architecture and planning with 2 departments. We have industrial engineering and technology, where there are 4 departments, including chemical, laser, plastic, and polymer. And we have College of Engineering, where there are 17 engineering programs, including all the other disciplines you know in around the world. So these 29 programs, including most of engineering disciplines, that none for every one of you. And the study for this integration of soft engineering societies is started in January 2020, where I have a meeting with the society we call Society of Petroleum Engineers. And there we have a student chapter for this SPE, which is an international organization and well-known society around the world. And I asked them if they know anything. I just asked them to link their activities with sustainable development goals. And they started to ask me, what is SDGs? Well, we don't know. So I asked if they hear about them. No, they don't know anything. And I asked them if they have any collaboration with other engineering societies among Sudan University of Science and Technology. And I found them, they don't know anything. They don't have any other or collaboration with any other society. And even they don't know any other society working to promote sustainable development goals. So I'm familiar with, I witnessed the sanction on Sudan, and I know the sanction for more than 20 years. Our students are too far from any international work or international participation. When they participate even in some contests and competitions, or even conferences, sometimes they just excluded because they are from Sudan. So I know this very well, and I know they are very far, and just I think to take action on this, because but I also ask myself, is it only for Society of Petroleum Engineers, or we should include other disciplines? Because I know a SILUS organization, the setup of this classification in engineering disciplines, it's just hinder efforts of much needed collaboration. So it is too difficult for them to understand anything if because this SILUS arrangement often finds their ways into students' engineering groups. They are petroleum engineers. They have no any relationship with electrical engineers, and there is no any even relationship with chemical engineers, and just like that. So this really is the limit learning opportunities of well-rounded education provided by exposure and experience of interdisciplinary learning approaches for participating students. So I started to think to link all these students to promote together and to work together to promote sustainable development goals and other learning approaches that can help students. So I started to communicate with other engineering students to link these societies in one body. And at that time, my student and my friend Fatma Jalal, I hope she is attending this presentation, because really she helped a lot to introduce some other societies from the College of Engineering, because I belong to Petroleum Engineering College and I don't have that much engagement with the student from other colleges. But she helped me a lot to invite some student chapters, and we begin with nine societies. One of them from College of Industrial and Industrial Engineering and Technology, which is IEOM, and this is Society of Petroleum Engineers, and there are 7 from College of Engineering. We started integration of soft engineering societies as a body, and the main aim is to breaking the silence of encouraging formation of collaborative environments between various students engineering societies. And we set together 5 goals, included or 6, to provide an opportunity for soft engineering societies to develop better understanding of SDGs, and also to link our students, engineering students, with international organizations, because as I said, sanction just let them, they have no any relationship with outside, only minor cooperation, and also to promote the importance of scientific societies for more engagement in professional activities and community service. Also, to disseminate the culture of sustainability in the university learning environment and work as integration. The other two is to build a sense of belonging among SUST students so they can share ideas, fully contribute, and confidently speak up, and to create a spirit of creativity, participation, working in a team, and linking the various engineering disciplines to achieve the goals of integration and build their social and emotional learning. So to gain these objectives, I think about community building approach. And as you know, community building is a field of practice directed toward the creation or enhancement of community among individuals within a regional area or with a common interest. It is a practice that fosters connection and a sense of belonging between people with similar interest and position, and it is just very common, and it is very good for approach for our work in this area. So we started to think about the leadership. Just think with me. The main problem is students with different backgrounds from different colleges, from different departments, and every student just think he is the best one, and every society think they should lead because their discipline or their department is the better department or something like that. So I tried as maximum as possible to promote the fellowship between the students and let them just work in friendly way. And I tried as maximum as possible to attend most of the meeting and to work really to let them just understand each other. This is a container, just a container. They adjusted with this table and some chairs. So we used to take all our meeting in this container. And I think to make it a horizontal body instead of vertical body without there is a president and vice president. And this also because it will give a little bit competition between the different societies. So we make it a horizontal body directed by a council, and the members of the council are the society's presidents and headed by the faculty advisor. And I just assign myself as a faculty advisor and try to work in this direction. So all the activities should be directed by committees with representatives from all the societies. That is the idea how we built our work. And the activities, we focus at the beginning only on celebrating the World Engineering Day, because in 2020, it is the first time that UNESCO asked the organization to celebrate the World Engineering Day in March 4. So we are in January. So we started just to focus on celebrating the World Engineering Day. And in 2020, we are only organization and the first one in Sudan to celebrate World Engineering Day. So our activities were exhibitions and seminars. We asked them the exhibitions should be innovative models and support at least one SDGs. And seminars also, the seminar topic and talks should link to the Sustainable Development Goals. So the students prepare their talks accordingly. And SDGs, just everywhere, there are so many posters in the exhibitions and on the roads inside the universities. And every society given a corner to introduce themselves to the new students, because the students, they don't know about their societies, and this is also an issue and one of the objectives. And also tried as maximum as possible to collaborate with international bodies. So in 2020, we focused to spread the awareness of SDGs and link the students from different societies together for multidisciplinary teamwork. There are more than 2,000 students and faculty participated in this, and in the exhibition and seminars, and some students share their success stories. And we conducted 12 seminars on campus. If you see this, you see all the societies are there because they did not agree to all of them. Just they want their logos to be there. So we put their logos and they work very well. We have so many. We achieved a lot from this activity. because after the end of the program, we ask all the societies, especially the student chapters that are a part of other or international organizations, to include all these activities as collaborators in their reports. So the result is 2020 Silver Award for international IUM student chapter, Industrial and Operation Management student chapter in our university, and Society of Petroleum Engineers Sudan section gets the Presidential Award because of this report. All the students, of course, they have certificates. These certificates are signed from the international bodies, and at that time is Global Engineering Deans Council and International Federation of Engineering Education Societies and Association of World Bioenergy Association. I'm a part of GDC and IFIS, and my colleague, Dr. Hazir Farouk, she's a part of WBA, and she helped us also to include WBA to be a part of this organization, of this activity. Also, the winner of the best, we have the best projects in the exhibition was featured in IFIS GDC Global Engineer Bulletin. And in 2021, we did 17 webinars virtual. Students from water and environment disciplines form a society and join the integration. That means now we are 10. There is growth in all the societies membership, and we also collaborate with the new international partner, which is University of Emerging Technologies, and tried as maximum as possible to promote emerging technologies among our activities. So this is the poster. Also, all the logos of the societies are there. The theme was engineering for a healthy planet. All the seminars just focus on the healthy planet, and the emerging technologies was there. That in this, for the live sessions are 30 to 50, while there are more than 1,000 views on YouTube. A quick assessment.
Dr. Tagore,
Yeah.
The time is almost finished.
Yeah, okay,
please
okay.
kindly conclude
Yeah,
it.
I will try. I will try.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. A quick assessment was done for 2021. We found that there are more than 500 students participated. 45% they said they heard for the first time about SDGs from integration activities, and 30% were members of scientific societies, only 30%. In 2020, there are additional 2 societies were joined. So now we have 12 societies. The theme, we talk about peace engineering for sustainable development. We increase the activities time for 3 days exhibitions, and there are more than 30 offline and online seminars. We have new contributor, international contributor, and partnership. The focus on the project and seminars address real problem from Sudanese communities. So this is different. The student receives certificate from the partners. If you see the poster here, you see we don't have the participant societies logos. We only have integration logo, and this is, I think, progress we did, and we make on maybe we just remove all the borders. And the students that graduated during the last 2 years participated in all the 3 days activities. And after the event, many applications from other engineering disciplines start to form their own society just because they want to join integration of sustainable engineering societies. And there are even some student group from outside the university, they started to ask our help. So as conclusion and way forward, integration of sustainable engineering societies help in breaking the gap between different engineering disciplines in SUS, and the integration succeed in disseminating the culture of working in difference to SDGs, because no any society now they can work without linking their activities to SDGs. And also the integration becomes the main spokes for the Sudan University of Science and Technology Peace Engineering Eco Hub, which is the first and the only one engineering hub for our Eco Hub around the world now. And that is working to solve real problem from community using the community service learning approach. And the Integration Council identified another activity now to focus on building research group. The current project we are working on is waste management, where all the students can participate and all the societies can be a part of it. Thank you so much for your attention. And I'm sorry to have additional 2 minutes. I will stop sharing now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tagwa. Thank you for sharing your wonderful experience. So, so far, we do not have any questions from the audience. And if is there any question from the speakers, you can ask. We have still 1 minute. So, so far I understand that you have a lot of activities that you have shared here. So, from these activities, is there any way to include any revision in the curriculum in your institute, Dr. Tagwa?
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. This is really very important question. The main problem and the main challenge to how to convince others to change their curriculum to include some kind of practical work. Just we succeed on to take the attention of the high level of the leadership of the university, and they started to come to our events and attend the opening ceremony and even go through the exhibitions and give some comments. Maybe just slowly we are going just to include something in the curriculum, but through the as I said we said I have Sudan Peace Engineering Eco Hub. Through this Peace Engineering Eco Hub, we try to give the students sessions, just theory about the main knowledge about waste management. And after they finish their first 6 months, we call it, this is phase 1 of the project. After they finish this, the students go outside to the community to implement their knowledge in real work. So in this kind, I think, but this is not the student, if they like to join, they can join. It is just open by, it is not compulsory for every student. But I think also it will help to break this gap and help the student to work with the community in practice way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr.
Thank
Tagwa,
you.
again. So now we like
Just
to
I have
move-
one question, Professor Mashuk.
Yeah, we are kind of out of time.
Okay.
So maybe you can personally ask her.
Okay.
So
Just
I'd like to move-
thank you so much.
Yeah. So I like to move to our second speaker, Dr. Ashraf Fatima. And the presentation title is Defining and Achieving Institutional Effectiveness for Transformational Education. And
Can I share my screen?
And she is from Laurel Institute of Engineering and Technology, an expert in construction engineering and management. Yes, Dr. Ashraf Fatima, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. Slideshow.
Yeah, it is visible. Please
Yeah.
proceed.
Is it visible? Everyone can view?
Yeah, we can hear you and it is visible.
Okay.
You
So
can go full
I welcome
screen.
you all for my session. Good evening, everyone. Today is my topic is on defining and achieving institutional effectiveness for transformation education. I belong
Dr.
to
Fatima,
yes.
okay, even though your screen are visible, but your slide is very small because you didn't go full screen or full scale. Can
It's
you
full
go
screen
to-
only, sir. Full screen. I have opted for slideshow.
Okay. Any other can see the full screen because I cannot still.
No,
see
it is
full
same for
screen.
me also. Perhaps she needs to run the slide.
That's what I'm doing. Actually, I have opted slideshow. In slideshow from the beginning, I'm opting, and actually for me it is full screen, but for the others it is not.
Okay,
Yeah.
what you can do, you can click on the right bottom corner
Okay.
that is scale.
Yes, 50%. Then we have,
Yeah,
slideshow.
yeah.
I can
Yeah,
opt for
yeah.
slideshow, right? Now, is it visible?
I'm not sure if this is from the lag, because your voice is very clear, but the slide is still very small. Yeah, it's coming. Can you increase the
Acha, can I increase the
zoom?
percentage? Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that now?
better. Yes, yeah, that's better.
Okay.
That's better. Please
Sorry
go
to
ahead.
interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. Asra Fatima, please
Yeah.
go under share screen and choose the screen of your presentation.
Yeah, that's what I did. Actually, I opted, we have a home, insert, design, animation, and slideshow, right?
No. You are on the
Okay.
Zoom, right? You are on the Zoom, right?
Huh.
Yeah, under the Zoom, you have a screen, shared screen, green letters written, right? Share screen on the Zoom.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
Yeah,
once again.
press it, then you'll find the PPT. Press that PPT.
Once again. Once again.
At first, you have to unshare. Stop sharing.
Acha, stop
Right.
sharing. Okay.
Yeah, and then you try
Then
it
I have
again
to
from
go for
the
shared
start.
screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
PPT.
then choose your PPT. Then you'll
Can I
find a
take the
particular.
desktop otherwise? Entire desktop?
Yeah, your PPT is running on the desktop only, na?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I did. I actually opted for PPT only.
Okay, so why can't you see the screen then?
Again, I'll try once.
I think you just go.
Entire screen. Then
Yep.
from beginning. Now is it visible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it is
Ah,
okay.
okay, right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Right. So, like the topic for today is defining and achieving institutional effectiveness for transformation education. And I'm associate professor from Lord's Engineering College, Hyderabad, Telangana. Coming to the contents, we have definition, modeling and facilitation, then role of institute in achieving, and followed by the other practices which the institute is following up in order to achieve that effectiveness. And then comes to the outcomes. Now, coming to the definition part of view, when we talk about transformational education, education has actually been imparted with the help of a teachers, lecturers, professors, assistant professors, associate, and the professors. So basically, the transformation teachers actually should take a step ahead, stating that they should help the student in becoming metacritical participants. Metacritical participants in terms of learning process. So they have to be well practiced in it, which help them in goal setting, and they can reflect whatever they understand practically the real world, etc. And they need not be content focused. That should be the actually proposal of the teachers that can help the students to do that. And then if in doing so they will become inquiry based learning can be done, service learning can be done, project based learning can be done. These are all the forms of transformational education. Then coming to the vision and mission of the college, you can see that the first part of it, which is actually saying that the Lord's Institute is actually striving continuously for excellence in professional education through quality, innovation, and teamwork. See, for an education to be good at outcomes, you need to have quality into it, followed by innovations. When you have innovation into it and quality into it, you will try to see that with the help of teamwork, the excellence in transformational educations can be achieved. So that is actually some part of it. Then we have measures. We have other things also where they have mentioning that how the quality of professional education can be increased. Coming to the next slide, which is modeling and facilitation in transformation learning. The first important part of it is what is the key of transformation learning? The first key in transformation learning is engaging the student as active learners. All the time, the student should be an active learner wherever he or she goes, whatever the circumstances that comes around, especially in the real world, they should be in a position to see that whatever they are learning, they can apply that learning into the real world and become problem solvers. That should be the key of transformation learning, and that can be achieved with the help of the teachers. So the students actually request little guidance from the transformational teachers, especially in case of modeling and facilitation. Allow the students to put their input and creativity that should be actually taken care by the teachers to see that keeping this into picture, like how much the student can be creative, that has to be enhanced, that has to be encouraged, and help them in getting a crafted lesson, which help them in getting a crafted lesson that finally guide them for large learning objectives. So that is actually the perspective of it. And how are we doing the modeling part? That is analysis, synthesis, interpretation, and connection. Coming to analysis, how the student can analyze when it comes to the problem synthesis, how good they are when compared to the social things and all. Interpretation, how are they doing? For example, we gig up a real world problem. So how are they doing the tabulation part, what we can say, the bar charts, all that. Connection actually plays a very important role, because actually we have made the students content focused, and so they don't have proper connection in a sense. They need to have a good relation with the people around them, which will help them to grow emotionally and even professionally. So that is actually important part which has to be taken care. Coming to the role, how our institute is actually achieving that. Actually, the transformation education is being achieved with the help of certain practices. That is NPTEL, we have ICT, we have patents, we have R&D, we have, and self-appraisal. These are certain practices which the institute is following to see that the transformation education can be achieved. So each and every faculty member being there on the roles are supposed to undergo with all these steps, practices. Then only the self-appraisal will be given. Self-appraisal is actually an what we can say, a sort of self-appraisal is nothing but a sort of form, which a form is being given to us for every year, where you are supposed to fill in the entire details related to research and development works, patents, ICT, and PTL. Based on that, only the increment will be given. So when an institute compel you to see that all these practices are to be done, then only your increment will be given. Means the entire what we can say, increment basically depends upon all this. So in that case, each and every faculty are imbibed to read that they have to follow all these terms and get that, what we can say, increment. So coming to the first part of it, which is NPTEL, it has actually National Program of Technology Enhanced Learning. So this is basically a national program which is being running in order to enhance the quality of engineering and sciences education in country. How are they doing? They're actually providing a content. How is that content being framed? Based on undergraduate and postgraduate. So the curriculum is being made with the help of videos and web-based courses. Now this is basically what? It's a teaching learning platform. So what is it doing? It is actually giving you a practical exposure of by considering the live example. If that is the case, it will be very helpful for the teachers, for the faculties, and even for the students to understand that content based learning can be actually be applied for real world learning, and this can be done easily with the help of these courses. So we can see that our college is actually got registered, like especially for Jan and April 2020, that is the recent semester, we had 492 students and 456 faculties got registered for the different courses. Until date, we have 205 FDP certification and the scorecards. And to add upon this, our college is actually one of the active local chapter compared to rest of the college in the nation. Okay. You can see some of the gold medalists who got actually 90+%, the faculty, some of the faculties who have got this certification being done. They are supposed to write an exam, they are supposed to write some assignments, and then finally an exam, and there'll be like online correction will be done, and finally the certification will be given. So it is based on elite and the other things. So when you get 90+%, they will be giving you elite certificate. These are some of the achievements also by the NPTEL people who have done. That is one of them, that Nagi Reddy sir, that is Nagi Reddy, Professor Nagi Reddy. He is actually an HOD from IT and is being taken as Discipline Star. Coming to ICT, what is basically an ICT? ICT is information communication technology. What does it do? It actually helps in computing and communication facility, which features in what? Supporting teaching learning with a range of activities in education. It also extends learning opportunities beyond the classrooms. You can even access the global learning resources and information. It provides quality training resources and help in keeping skills updated. So lastly, we can say that ICT is actually the lifeblood of the modern research. Why it has been called like that? Because you can actually go for e-books, e-journals, e-magazine, e-newspapers. So you have a lot of research papers, magazines, which can help you in doing your research. And some of these certificates, which our faculty from Lord's College got, is the two faculties who got certified in ITC. Coming to patent granted, the first patent which you can see, that is Safiuddin and Mr. Furhan is actually the one who have been granted by the state, the STP plant with an application number, and even this is based on national. Some of the consultancy programs also we have been running. And self-appraisal, as I said you, this is actually one of the sample of it. It's only the starting part of it I'm just showing. Coming to the outcome. So as I said you, we had a role, which is actually the goal of it. Then we have certain practices, then comes the outcome. So when you come about the outcome, it is actually based on how much are you achieving it. So we have been awarded as Best Innovator Award at Rural Innovator Startup, because actually India is still a developing country. It's not a developed country. So still we do require many of us in getting involved in how we can support the rural people there who are actually suffering with no house, no rent, no electricity, etc. So our students from Lord's College got Best Innovator Award for that Rural Innovator Startup 2017, and some of the students are being listed, and under the guidance of our professor, that is Safiuddin sir, and they have been awarded 50,000 crash prize also from the National Institute of Rural Development, Panchayat Raj, Ministry of Rural Government, Government of India. Then various other projects which you can see, national level project exhibition, they have also proposed Eco Brick project, and that has been given as they have bagged second prize for the waste and low cost materials and good attempt for solve environmental issues, because actually Telangana is actually, though we have rainy season, but the climate becomes very humid. So, and also in summer also will be going around 40 degrees, 45, something like that will happen. So eco bricks are actually being considered as one of the good bricks, which apart from the clay brick and the hollow blocks, etc., eco brick is being considered as one of the best bricks which can help in maintaining the temperatures of the room. And even the second one, which is the second one is Innovative Manhole for Sewage System project. They actually got a special appreciation award in the same national level project exhibition, that is 3-in-1 solution, because actually, as I said you before itself, India is a developing country. So during the rainy season, we face a lot of problem with potholes, with manholes, and even the road which is being laid has a lot of potholes in it. And although you do for repairing, again, you will be facing the same problem. So these people have actually, student of our college have been initiated a manhole setting in such a way that the problem solving of like rise of the water level in the manhole can be taken care, followed by opening of it, followed by what we can say pumping out of the excess water. That has also been considered in innovative manhole for sewage system. This is actually termed to be the best, and so they have been given a special appreciation award. The last one, which is water scarcity exploitation for remote villages, this has also been given as a patent, which I said you last. Yeah, this one. Sewage treatment plant. This is actually given by the state government for the proposal which they have given during this part. That is incubation part. So this has been taken care by the state based on the proposal which our college people, the faculty have been provided. So this is my basic conclusion. So the goal of it is actually the title. The practices is actually which I have mentioned you the same. And coming to the outcome, as I mentioned you the three parts of it, that is the best innovator awards, which our faculty and the students have bagged. And coming to the next part, which is the second prize, special appreciation awards for the manholes and etc. And the last one, which is this water scarcity, because many of the places are having water problem. Many of the states are having that problem, and so they are being given given a patent filed by the students and even faculty to how will you try to provide water, like how will you resolve water scarcity problem in remote villages. I thank you all. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Thank you, Dr. Asra Fatima.
Okay.
That was wonderful presentation and sharing your experience. So till now, we do not have any questions from the audience in Vertex platform. Is there anyone from the speakers? Any questions? So if there is no questions, I'd like to thank you again for your presentation, and
Thank you, sir.
we like to move to our.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present my work. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So we'd like to move to our third speaker, Dr. Kamil Mohammed. The title is Impact of Institutional Infrastructure Towards Student Intellectual Growth. Dr. Kamil.
Hello, everyone.
Dr. Asra, you can stop sharing, Dr. Asra.
Hello, everyone.
Please stop the sharing.
You have, right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I think everyone sees my my topic, and I welcome everyone, namely Dr. Taqwa Musa, Dr. Asra Fatima from my college, Dr. Professor Motarul, and our co-speaker, our moderator. Okay. Basically, as Dr. Asra Fatima said, I am from LIT as well, Lord Institute of Engineering and Technology. A little about Lord's Institute. Basically, this is the first and the most famous institute in India that belongs to the minority class of India, Muslim minority. And it's the only autonomous institute of such strength. So I welcome everyone to the Lord's Institute. I, Dr. Kamil Mohammed, is Associate Professor from IT Department. Just now, Asra Fatima had given a glimpse of Dr. K. Nagareddy, my HOD, head of the department. He is the 7-star of NPTEL and has been passed 7 such certificates in elite category. Okay, a little about myself. I had my studies and my foreign education from England. I studied from University of Westminster long back in 2009. I studied my PhD from University of Sheffield. I've recently moved to India and I was awarded a job as associate professor in IT department. Coming to my topic, basically my topic is impact of institutional infrastructure to a student's intellectual growth. Why I choose this topic? Because this is one of my chapter from my paper. So let me talk a little on this. Basically, it has an abstract, which I'll let you know soon, and an executive summary, why the better spaces for learning are required, and how we can maximize the benefits of pedagogy and the college competencies relationship. And then we have implications for future practice and implications for future research. Okay, just let me remove this. College community. Okay, coming on this, my abstracts says a little about what I have encountered with the effectiveness of these students, mostly from India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan and Sri Lanka, that we form the subcontinent, that they have actually come here to form hurdles to how they overcomes before the student juxtaposed for the sake of his career and responsible right track. So infrastructure for any city or college, universities are formed by the background and backbone of a student's wellness and form the basis of his sweet memories to cherish with him as he grows along. So you can imagine, like basically what we are promising the students. We are promising the students like after 4 years of engineering life, after graduation, like they'll be encountering many difficulties, some milestones and difficult tasks in order to overcome. And what we are providing them, an education in the form of colleges, in the form of structure of syllabus, and we are just concentrating on the syllabus. Why are we not concentrating on something like that, where they are sitting, what they are actually observing? Are they having enough benefits, like any right resources, like how foreign education and foreign universities are providing to them, to the other students? And here, that's why the college should be hygienic and nicely maintained in order to provide a pleasant atmosphere for the students to relax and enjoy studies when he first steps into the era of transformational education. Okay, that is actually my abstract, which I based as my one of the paper. So encountering this, let me move to the next slide. So we need to answer, do all students have access to the place at college? Okay. What I mean by this is basically we have an evolution. Like we don't want certain category of students not to step further down the ground at specific time. Why do we have this? I don't know. And we ask some students, you're not allowed in the library at this certain time. No. Colleges are the next house or a home for others when they leave their proper place, leaving their relatives and their the families, and they want to come to the college. The very first thing they should feel that we should not have an access. We should have access to all the places at a college. Do the college building provide a safe and healthy environment? Are the existing learning spaces optimally designed for learning? Does the design of the college foster current pedagogy? What I mean by pedagogy is nothing but the institution's, the course structure, what we are teaching them. It's like tuitions. And community engagement. How can the college infrastructure be designed to evolve sustainability over the longer term? So we need to answer this. And I hope in the question and answer section, I need some from the audiences to at least have a ponder on these questions, so that it will be helpful for us to achieve a little milestone, so that if you can answer this, we are trying to literally work for the betterment of the students in the future terms. Okay, so what actually, again, coming on the betterment of the better space for learning. Okay, so we should have a good natural conditions such as lighting, air quality, temperature control, acoustics, and links to nature. If you can see the website of Lord Institute of Engineering and Technology, we have a huge garden. We have 2 sports ground. Okay, we have separate space, sports room. We have almost ACs in all the classrooms and the labs. We have good acoustics at least 2 to 3 seminar halls. And that's why we are linking the students in order to come and enjoy and feel relaxed. And, they should find this as a place they should love to, not to miss every day. So that is what we are trying to achieve, that they should not be any absentees each day. Lord Institute of Engineering Technology is holding around 2,500 students by different places of Hyderabad. All people are coming from different sectors, sections, and different towns. There are almost 15 to 20 buses that comes every day to the college, bring all the pupils and the students and the teachers. Age-appropriate learning spaces that offer flexible learning opportunities that pupils can adapt and personalize. So we are actually holding MTech courses and such courses which are welcoming middle-aged students as well, like people probably from 29 to 30 onwards also can take these courses and be benefited with that. So it's a good platform for me basically to express my gratitude to the Info, so that we can give this a platform like what Lord's Institute of Engineering Technology is welcoming us. others in whole of the country, and thereby connections between learning spaces that are easy to navigate and may provide additional learning opportunities, like what Dr. Asra Fatima just now pondered about NPTEL and different kinds of ICT and ESL, she might have forgotten. And there is something like, you know, TBI. There are different branches what Lord Institute of Engineering Technology is holding on, so that we can, you know, take a extreme steps in order to build these students or come and enjoy and, you know, appreciate the different what branches what we are holding in. A level of ambient stimulation using color and visual complexity, because we don't want our colleges to be dull, and they should be in a state where you can, you know, invite everyone. There should be some advertisements going on. There are some should be hoardings that inculcating everyone to you know, enjoy each and every aspect of each semester, because semesters almost last for probably, let's say, 8 to 12 weeks. That means almost three months of working days. But if you see on calendar, there might be less than 2.5 months. So that's why, because, you know, there are holidays and India is rich in culture. We have so many holidays around, and that's why we cannot able to meet what we are planning to do in a semester, and that's why we fell back and we put it in the next semester. That's why prosticate the terms into the next domain. That's why, you know, we are trying to invite everyone, and we want the designs that took into account local climatic and cultural conditions. So that's what you can find, you know, the next terms to the nature. Like, we want every people to be more, you know, useful when they find themselves useful when they come to the college and take the benefits. Okay, so my next thing is how to maximize the benefits of pedagogy and the college community relationship. In order to maximize the positive impacts of college infrastructure investment, there is emerging evidence that the term fit, I repeat the word, the term fit between the physical layout of college and institutional practice is important. That's what pedagogical practice is important, because we are just asking students to come and learn what is the syllabus, but what we are practicing, what we need to practice is how to make them go live, and it was being done in 1970s and 80s. We want something very useful for the students when they are just you know, very new to the institute, to the market, when they're finished. Okay. There are also pervasive arguments that engaging a wide range of stakeholders that can increase the value of education being delivered. This is a very important aspect, because we want these stakeholders that can, you know, come and look into the education perspective. How can they help us? So in the same way, having a better shared understanding of how the design of college infrastructure affects educational outcomes is very useful, and those doing education sector work. The evidence presented in this report, which are writing paper, that the wide range of salient factors can be addressed for the same amount of expenditure. This is what we are, you know, finding ourselves in the unique way to express our ways in order to invite the candidates of the students by holding different carnivals at the college, and we are trying to make annual days. We make them, you know, a third-party progress, so that, you know, the stakeholders should basically think of the projects in order to help the students around and make the college, you know, look, because they should find themselves to better projects, and to meet the specific needs of the students. We student teachers and our staff are asking different kind of questions around every time when we are having feedbacks that should have a positive impact on the educational outcomes. Okay, what will do? It will increase the efficiency of the resources invested in college infrastructure projects, and will lead to more effective cooperation between the different specialties involved in the development of college infrastructure. Okay, so coming on the, you know, implications of future research, cross-cultural comparative impact evaluation studies would be available to explore the issues of the optimal provision of places through the choice of college disposition and size. See, having have such a big size of the colleges and the universities, because the Lords is going to be an autonomous, it's an autonomous institute now. It is no more than a university. The evidence for the importance of safe and healthy colleges should be encountered to promote learning is strong. But investigations are urgently needed into how to make this happen effectively in the context of existing country level regulation. What we mean by country level regulation is the AICTE norms. We have UGC norms. They should take into account, and they should provide these stakeholders to us. So it's an appeal, like it's a welcoming projects to them basically. A technology has an important role to play in education, but the technologies chosen need to be appropriate for each specific college. Again, the institutional approach and learning environment, because we are targeting an audience somewhere in South India having a minority culture. So our technology is condition that the students could not handle. We need to study this. So we want the stakeholders to take this opportunity. Therefore, more research needs to be done to align the use of technology with the needs of colleges, including not only learning spaces, but also college planning and construction as well. Because I have studied in UK, I have seen, worked in Dubai, I have worked in India. I have seen different kind of cultures and what's important and lucrative for the students to come to college and make them feel the place to gather knowledge and put it in the right stream. Okay, and I think I'm done with this because I have just 1 or 2 topics now. Okay, about future research, again, there is also a need of generate evidence from the infrastructure projects implemented in different contexts, like from low to upper middle class income towns and cities, as well as from colleges in different geographical locations and with students from different cultural background. Because we are from, again, I said, from Hyderabad, and most of the towns, let's say about 15 to 20 miles, do come to the college to study. We are forgetting to target the students which are come in this category, which their family will come into this category, because we are minority institute and autonomous as well. So we should have the upper hand from the other stakeholders like UGC and AICT and Delhi University, like AIU, Association of Indian Universities, that they should ponder on this in order to raise the values and the concepts for the students, for the research, so that we can have a hands on these as well. And I think I have end my session, because this is one of the chapter from my this thing. So I'm happy if anybody can ponder on this and raise good questions. I hope I have done with this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Kamil Muhammad. It was nice sharing from your experiences.
Thank you, dear.
So there is no questions from the audience on Vertex platform, but if anyone here from the panelists want to ask any question, please go ahead. So I do not know much about your institute. I just want to ask you that the student
Yeah, go ahead.
pool, the student pool you are getting in age starting in the freshmen, are they up to your expectation? I mean, their level of
Well, well,
learning.
well, Mr. Rahman, I appreciate your question. Yeah, basically, if you look on our website, basically we are almost 20, 21 years old now. And
my motive, my main, actually, what I want to know, if it is not up to your expectation, how do you manage? What else you do to cover up their intellectual growth? Because the intellectual growth,
I think
also requires that them their good foundation knowledge, right? Yeah.
See, Yeah, you're right. Basically, what I think is like the platform what Inforob has introduced us in our college. We are abiding their infrastructures in order to, interrupt their events, like inviting all the students and the audiences around. We have a clientele basically. In order to target them, we have such course, such events, such branches, and such like you could say cells, e-cells, like what just Dr. Asad cells. We have inventory cells, we have innovation cells, we have apart from studies, we are trying to guide the students so that they become the face image in the market. The students outside who are passing and going outside, they will actually let the world know what Lords is. Lord Institute of Engineering Technology. So we are trying to embed all these facilities which are being guided from Inforob. So I'm very thankful to Inforob who is giving a platform for such and actually discussing the in and shortcomings and the in bones and veins of all the sessions, what object-based education is all about. This is what object-based education is. We don't want students to just pass. We want students to be entrepreneur. They should create the job. So we are working ahead for this, and inshallah, I hope the targeting audience what we have as a minority institute, we are alhamdulillah doing very good, and almost 500 to 800 students get placed every year. So that's a very great job we are doing. And I appreciate if any questions if anyone wants to ask. I hope I answered the question.
Any other questions from the speakers? Okay, if there is no other questions, I'd like to thank Dr. Kamal Muhammad again for your presentation.
I'm obliged.
And,
Very thankful.
and we are going to move our last speaker, Dr. Motaharul Islam from United International University. And his presentation title is Outcome-Based Education and the Student Awareness in the Developing Countries. Dr. Mutahar, please proceed. Your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you, Professor Dr. Mashukur Rahman, for giving me the floor. I would also like to, thank all the, speaker in this session. And as you mentioned, my topic is outcome-based education and students' awareness in the developing countries. So let me proceed. So this presentation is actually based on my own experience. It is more than a decade. So I have started my journey from 2008 with this outcome-based education. And I have served different universities, home and abroad. And now I am serving United International University, Bangladesh, as a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So based on my practical experience, I will try my best to demonstrate, although it's a very, big topics, but I will try to demonstrate within the specified time period. So these are the brief outlines of this session. Now, I will be starting with the definition provided by Professor Dr. William Spady, the founder and founder of Inforob and father of OBE concept. So he has mentioned before a long time, outcome-based education means starting with a clear picture of what is important for students to be able to do, then organizing the curriculum, instruction, and assessment. And ultimately, we make sure that it happens. Okay, so you see the definition. From this definition, outcome-based education is basically for the students and empowering the students, or for the empowering the learners. So if the students are not aware of the concept of outcome-based education, definitely it is very difficult as an important stakeholder in this process. Students must be aware of the system so that they might wholeheartedly accept the concept for their own development. Okay, so you see, for this concern, worldwide, we see there are a lot of efforts for the quality assurance in the university level education. So we have different accords, and all of these accords are to ensure the quality of the graduates. So we see the Washington Accord, the Sydney Accord, and the Dublin Accord, three different accords that addresses three different, perspective for the engineering graduate, technologists, and technicians. So you know that for the education accord, there are different countries as well as some other countries that are going to be the signatory of these accords. So what are actually the concern of Washington Accord, Sydney Accord, and Dublin Accord? You see, they have some common aspects, but especially the Washington Accord, you see, it assists the mobility of professional engineers. They are concerned of the professional engineers and also the engineering at the professional level. You see, the Sydney Accord, they deal with engineering technology. That means it is the technology part. And you see, it also recognizes the importance of the roles of engineering technologists as part of a wider engineering team. And the last one, the Dublin Accord, you see, educational base for engineering technicians. So it recognizes the importance of the roles engineering technicians play as part of a wider engineering team. So three different accords are for three different professional engineers, engineering technologists, and engineering technicians. Well, let us proceed. So all these sort of accords are basically for the students' quality assurance. So you see the different countries of the Washington Accord, 20 different countries for the full membership, and there are some provisional members. In Sydney Accord, you see 11 countries and 2 provisional members, and for the Dublin Accord, there are 9 full members. You see here, the Washington Accord, as I told you that this accord is for the professional graduate engineers, and Sydney Accord for the technologist, and the Dublin Accord for the technician. Now, actually, you see, why do we need 3 different accords? You see here, it is their knowledge profile for the Washington Accord. WK1 means knowledge profile for the Washington Accord, and knowledge profile for the Sydney Accord, and for the Dublin Accord. You see, the first, 5, it's common. These profile are common for all the accords. But you see from the knowledge profile 6, it mentions engineering practice, here engineering technologies, and you see the practical engineering knowledge. And also Washington Accord, you see, emphasizes on the research, since it is the professional engineers, so research literature. In Sydney Accord, it emphasizes on technological literature, and in here you see they don't have this is the technician approach. So the comprehension is necessary for them, but not that much research is required. Okay, fine. Now you see why our graduate should be aware of the accreditation and why they will take it very positively as an important stakeholders. Because the accreditation process, it is for ensuring the standard, okay, so that the student from the developing country, they can easily migrate from the developing country to the developed country. Sometimes it happens that the students have the 4 years graduation, but when they are moving towards another country, that graduation has been taken as the diploma or higher diploma. Even many good quality universities are facing this sort of problem when they are graduating from the developing countries. So we need the accreditation for the proper judgment. You see, it also increase and enhance employment opportunities. Now we are living in a global village, so the graduate of one country are traveling towards another country. So the accreditation, it increases and enhance the opportunities for the job. And it has also the national and international recognition. You see, it ensures continuous quality improvement, because the CQI process, the continuous quality improvement, it is one of the major concern for any accreditation system. And you see, it also control the graduates, how it control how the accreditation process control the quality of the graduate. We will see when we will cover the different graduate attributes. Well, let's proceed. Now you see why the concept of OBE is important for quality assurance and why it is important for the engineering graduates. I have demonstrated an advertisement that has been published in the Sydney Morning Herald in the year 2005. Some of the companies, they are searching for the engineering graduate. So you see, if you are a final year mechanical, electrical, telecommunication, or computer engineering students, apply for engineering graduate career program. Impress us with your this sort of qualities. What are those? Well-developed communication and team skill, aptitude for developing positive business partnership, ability to look outside the square, aptitude for independent problem solving, strong interpersonal and organizing skills, and enthusiastic and proactive approach. You see here, it is they are looking for engineering graduate, but we have a lot of soft skill, lot of interpersonal skill, lot of teamwork, many things. It is not only focusing the technical skill. So the OB, it is ensuring that the graduate will acquire all sort of skills that might be required for their professional development in the real life field. So students must be aware of these issues. Okay, now you see, for quality assurance, we have two different types of accreditation process. One is for the institutional, and another is for the program level accreditation. For example, the institutional accreditation, it is normally rendered by the apex body of a particular country in Bangladesh, in India, in other countries. It is sometimes called the University Grants Commission. They provide the accreditation for the whole university or for the whole institutions. But in outcome-based education, you see, we are getting the accreditation for program or specific program. For example, computer science and engineering, for chemical engineering, for civil engineering, for specific program. So this is the program-wise accreditation process. So in both of the way, we can ensure the quality. Now, I would like to briefly provide some concept or terminologies for the outcome-based education. You see, first of all, we deal with the course outcome. Okay. So what is course outcome? You see, it is the ability to attain by the student upon the completion of a subject. So each and every subject must have some course outcome. So after the, completion of that particular course, if you want to judge the student, how you will be judging? So it is the course level. Okay. Then you see the program outcomes. Sometimes we call the, graduate attributes, PO, or graduate attributes, or program learning attributes. These are almost same. So the PO, it is normally assessed after the graduation. Okay, when the student will be graduating, at that time we will assess the program outcomes or the graduate attributes. And we also, while designing the curriculum, we must also map the CO with one or more of the program outcomes for a specific program. Now, we will be focusing on why the student must be aware of. You know, student is the main stakeholder of the accreditation process or the quality enrichment process. So for whom we are doing this sort of research? Of course, they are our beloved students. So we are doing something good for them, but if they doesn't accept it in a positive way, it must have a detrimental effect. In the developing countries, many universities are, suffering for these issues because we don't have sufficient campaign for the student awareness. What is happening? Students are in darkness. We are thinking for the students, but if the students and the thinking process are not synchronized, then we cannot, get some better result from our efforts. So first of all, we must aware them for the graduate attributes. Okay, and what are the outcome of the graduate attributes for their future career? It must be well explained to the student. So here we will be explaining 12 different graduate attributes that has been adapted based on the Washington Accord and from the ABET and many other organizations. You see, first of all, the engineering knowledge. So this is the very fundamental program outcome or graduate attributes. Okay, so it means that the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamental, and engineering specialization to solve the complex engineering problem. So the word complex engineering problem, what is the meaning of complex engineering problem? It has different attributes. So if a particular problem, complex engineering problem may not be complex at all, but it may be easier, but its term is the complex engineering problem. So you see, if the student doesn't aware of that, if the student, just simply read it, the POs of a particular program, they may be getting some negative impact. So maybe this sort of OBE or this sort of process, it is imposing something difficult for us. So it may have a detrimental effect for the students. So complex engineering problem means it must satisfy some terms and conditions. So complex engineering problem is not the complex problem all the time. It might be easier, but it should follow some guidelines provided by different, bodies. For example, the depth of knowledge required. Okay. For example, the modern tools uses. For example, the research literature, many issues it might be incorporated. So this is the first one, the engineering knowledge. The second one, you see the problem analysis. So this ability will prove.
Dr. Mutahar,
Yes,
your
please.
time is over. We appreciate if you can conclude very shortly.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Mashikur Rahman. So problem analysis, you see here, through this, a program outcome. So student will be able to identify, formulate research literature, and analyze complex engineering problems. Okay, so this, you see, the design and development of solutions. So the student must be able to design solutions for complex engineering problems. And one important thing is, you see, they must, understand this design, it is for the public. It must have, they must consider for the public health, safety, cultural, societal, and environmental considerations. Now the investigation, modern tools uses, and you see up to the 5, PO5, these are the technical issues. Now from 6 onward, you will see most of the things are for the society, are for the teamwork, are for the lifelong learning. So it is reshaping the students, or it's preparing the students for the market so that they can work accordingly for the society. They can communicate better for with other students. You see, it also emphasizes on environment and sustainability. Okay, how they can contribute to the environment and how the technology can be sustainable. And it also provides the strong ethical background. So it is very important for the students of engineering discipline. You see, before we had a very limited opportunity to teach the ethics for the engineers. Now through the outcome-based education, it's very much possible to teach some of the courses based on the engineering ethics. And you see individual and teamwork. So the engineers must work, in a team, or sometimes in individually. So they must be aware of that. Also the communication. Sometimes they need to write some effective report for the documentation. Okay, in developing country, engineers are, they are lagging behind for writing a quality report for the documentation. So through the OB, they can also be aware of these issues. And the project management, you see, once upon a time, the engineers, they will be leading, or they will be playing the managerial role. So they must have some knowledge for the project management. And finally, the most important thing is the lifelong learning. So in the field of engineering, you see the students, they are lifelong learners. Okay, so how they will be solving new problem. They might have the knowledge, but based on their existing knowledge, how they can solve some unseen problem, or how they can solve some unstructured problem. So these are really very important. So throughout this PO, the student, we can reshape the students learning capacities, or their attitude and their aptitude level also. So you see, and we
Dr.
also,
Mutar, we
yes,
are
please.
out of time.
Okay, I think
Can
that's
you
that's
just-
all. That's all for my presentation. So thank you so much. And if you have any questions, we can further discuss.
Okay, there is actually no questions from the audience through the verdict platform. Is there any questions from the speakers?
Yes, please. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Professor.
You are most welcome.
Yeah. Just I would like to know how to measure these outcomes. Is there any specific procedure can be used? Just it is already well written forms or anything it can help to measure these outcomes or not?
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
know, while designing the OB-based curriculum, first of all, we design the different courses, right? Different courses, CO, the course outcome.
Yes,
And
sure.
all the course outcome, it must be mapped to the program outcomes.
Yes.
So program outcomes, it might be, your own designed, or you may adapt from some other organizations, or the accreditation bodies in your country. Okay, then you'll have to map all the course outcomes to the few program outcomes. Okay, so
Yes.
how will be the question is how you will be assessing those, right? So
Yes,
you can
yes.
assess, you can
Mm.
assess those, for example, by different assessment tool and technique for exams. There are some formative assessment, the continuous assessment, exams, quizzes, assignment, case studies, okay, or class performance. In different ways, you will be judging the course outcome, and ultimately those course outcome will be hitting towards the program outcomes.
Yes, sure. Just specifically, I need to know how to measure the soft skills actually, really.
Okay, for example, communication skill, right?
Yes,
You
as an
know,
example.
for example, we have the, I mean, final year design project, right? And we have some courses, for example, in computer science courses, we used to teach the system analysis and design, or some other courses. So where we used to provide some sort of, I mean, presentation, right? So through the presentation, you can easily judge or assess their, I mean, this sort of communication skill or soft skill.
Mm.
So it's not possible for the exam, but throughout the presentation or case studies or other approaches, we can perform this. I think it's clear to you.
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find way to measure what I'm doing with my students now, just in this integration of software engineering societies. So I asked to find some solution to how to measure the outcomes or to measure the impact of our work among the students, especially in the social and emotional learnings. But okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other questions? I have one question. In most universities, the certificate or transcript is given in terms of grade point average. We call it GPA or CGPA, right? So how the student will be motivated if we do not change this way of certification, if we do not include their scores in the graduate attributes, or we can say the program outcomes in the certificate or transcript, right? Dr. Bondar.
Okay, actually, you see, this is a very, I mean, there's a long debate for these issues. And recently I'm reading one, I mean, book from Professor Dr. Spady. It is actually outcome-based education, empowering essence. Okay, so you know, this sort of scoring system, basically it is time bounded, right?
Yes.
Okay, for example, one trimester is four months. Okay, some students can grab something very easily, but the same thing, if the other student get 6 month time, they can also grab and they can get the, I mean, same type of grades, right?
Right.
Okay, that's why the outcome-based education is not only for the grading perspective, it is dedicated for developing the student skill. That's why everywhere we are trying to develop the student skill, what they can do. Okay, and in another way, actually, I mean, there is a little relationship between the score as well as the skill. So you know, while we are I mean, implementing the outcome-based education, okay, so sometimes we may not judge all the courses. We may take some sort of, I mean, prototype courses, okay, but this, you mean, I mean the sample courses, and we can judge and we can get some ideas. But for the result and for the GPA calculation, we need to, I mean, consider all the courses, right?
Right. Right. So what you mean is we need to give them some scores anyway to motivate
Right.
them, but one student may not perform well from the very first year, right? But
Right.
he or she can perform well at the end
Later
of
on.
their at the end of their bachelor degree, right? So
Yes.
so maybe we can think of better scoring algorithm or something like that to
Well,
Is it?
actually, I just wanted to add this because GPA is actually in Indian point of view perspective, what we are answering to the norms that CBSE guys are being entertained in foreign universities with the accreditation level, not with the marks level, like the percentage level. This is what I found when I was in UK, when I was studying, they are asking my, credits. We were running on percentages then. And it was nowhere, matching of these. So as Professor Islam has said, like this is a better and the time domain, it's a time based. So we can decide like we are not actually inculcating a single guy. If you give a 9.7 as a CGP, that actually inculcates more than people who are between 97%, 87%, 81, 91%. So that's a better, I think, the grading system, I think, at this moment of time. I'm really thankful to Professor Islam, and it was a nice presentation from your side. And thank you, everyone. I think.
Okay, thank you.